Jeez, I don't feel so good. I feel like my head is trying to break open, my nose is running into... Well, I feel a lot better now. Holy shit, I have fingers! Hello one and all, the new and improved Jasper here, and thanks to a special request from Yggdrasil, who also did the thumbnail to this video, I am going to go over my choices for the top 10 best sigils in A Song of Ice and Fire, and I scrolled through every single one, picking and choosing my favorite. Some sigils were a bit on the similar side, so I made sure to cut those so that way this list would have a bit more variety to it. Finally, I am only looking at book versions of sigils. Are we clear? Great. Then let's get started at number 10, House Baelish of the Fingers. We all know and despise Peter Baelish, a grade A sneaky bastard who is currently the Lord Paramount of the Riverlands. He made an ugly-ass banner, however, luckily for us, we still have this banner that was made by his great-grandfather when he first came to Westeros. While I'm not a fan of the light green background, the fire-eyed grey titan head makes up for it quite a bit. Not only can I picture it flying in the middle of a battle, striking fear into the hearts of the enemy, or sprawled across the interior of a castle, but the reason I really like it, it goes beyond visually. It's all about the echo of the family ancestry. You see, Peter's ancestors were from Braavos, and the titan head that they have on the banner is a tribute to the massive titan that stands in front of the ocean entrance of Braavos. So not only is it a pretty badass looking sigil, but it's also a cultural reference to where the Baelish family originates. Just checks a lot of boxes for me. Number 9, House Hunt. I like this one entirely because I find it hilarious, and how everything just clicks when you realize what the name of the house is. House Hunt, and on their sigil is a deer strapped up and ready to be skinned and cooked. It gets better though. Do you know who these guys are sworn to serve? House Tarly, whose sigil is a man hunting with a bow and arrow. Feels like a story is being played out here. I wonder if there's a house that serves House Tarly called House Venison, and the sigil is a nice juicy steak. This is my entire motivation. I don't really find it visually appealing, but because of the small parts of my brain that make me go when I see it, I have to put it on the list. Number 8, House Baratheon of Dragonstone. House Baratheon, the only family I'm aware of that has 3 very prominent sigils in the story, and one from a traitorous little brother. Yet, of all of them, the Dragonstone sigil flown by Stannis is my favorite, and it isn't just because Stannis is the rightful king of the 7 kingdoms. But I like the color scheme a bit better. Adding red and orange to the black and yellow of the original design makes it feel less of a jarring coloring. Black and yellow isn't bad. I think there was a rap a long-ass time ago that was all about black and yellow. But the warmer and strong correlation between the colors makes it more pleasant to my eyes. That's just the coloring though. We haven't even got to the symbolism of the burning fire heart, clearly being a nod to Stannis and his supporters switching to the faith of R'hllor and following the priestess Melisandre. And that is something that I really appreciate it when it fits so well that you can't see anyone else using it. Number 7, House Allgood. We know nothing about House Allgood. We have never met a single member of the family, and that is a shame because when I see this sigil, a royal blue base with a golden wreath and border, I can't help but think of power and influence. I think of Roman emperors. This is the kind of shit Julius Caesar would have plastered around his home when people visit. No symbolism, just a damn good simple design that is an enjoying piece to look at. Hell, I might make a commission and put this on my wall when I buy a house. Number 6, House Blackwood. Everyone loves to suck the dick of House Blackwood. I've never been that big of a fan, but I have to say, I really do like the sigil. First off, you can never go wrong with the color scheme of red and black. It's always going to look cool. It's a very powerful and threatening combination. That's probably why it's used almost exclusively for bad guys. Of course, we can't ignore the white tree in the middle, which stands out very prominently as it's surrounded by darker colors. Speaking of, that's a good segue to talk about the symbolism. The tree in the center is clearly a werewood, and the Blackwoods are one of the few, if not the only house that lives south of the neck that follows the Old Gods. The ravens are likely a reference to the castle they live in, which is called Raventree Hall. Though crows have a strong that's a different animal. Though ravens have a strong connection with the Old Gods as well. Just look at the three-eyed raven to see that. Good colors, good symbolism, it checks all the boxes for me. Number 5, House Risewell. Not going to lie, this spot was originally for the Bracken, so that they could finally get some sort of win in the fandom, even if it is a small one. But House Ryswell won out for me. I like the darker brown compared to the yellow, and as I said before, I prefer close-up on animals' heads rather than seeing the entire body from a distance. Plus, using the red for the mane of the horse rather than a single color makes the image overall more striking and real. Best horse banner in the entire kingdom. Great job, Ryswell. Number 4, House Coldwater. The South will rise again! Oh, shit, sorry, wrong channel. Anywho, we got House Coldwater here, and like some sigils we have already mentioned, this one is purely visual for me. I am such a sucker for red, white, and blue, and it isn't just because I'm very patriotic, but it's just a good combination. Red, white, and blue are in that order the most popular colors used for flags in the world, and I get rather weak at the knees when I see blue and white together. Now, I'm not aware of any symbolism here, but considering the house is called Coldwater and they live near a river, I wonder if the blue symbolizes a river the castle rests nearby, while the red is the blood that has been spilled to keep it, and the white lines are to show the cocaine they snort. Okay, maybe not the last one, but luckily for me, I already justified the sigil being on here with no symbolism, so suck it. Number 3, House Targaryen. Look at that, another black and red sigil. I'm starting to see that I have a bit of a type, don't I? Anyway, it was going to be either Targaryen or Blackfire, and at the end of the day, I had to go with Targaryen. While we can all agree a black dragon breathing Blackfire is way more badass than a red dragon breathing basic red fire. But when you blow the two up, I find myself thinking that the red on black looks better than the black on red. I can see the scales, wrinkles, and spines a lot more easily on the Targaryen sigil than I can on the Blackfire sigil. Maybe my eyes are fucked up from having a radiated stream bombard them 20 hours a day, but that's just how it is for me. Plus, the three-headed symbolism just works better for the Targaryens. After all, the founding was done by Aegon, Visenya, and Rhaenys Targaryen. I know the Blackfires are all descendants, but it just doesn't feel as good, you know? Number 2, House Grafton. Yeah, we all see. No need to point it out now. Still, black and yellow with a splash of red does look pretty damn good. Feel like I'm walking up on one of Bowser's castles. You know, if he had the funding to make his castle out of gold. The red and black do well, kind of drawing your eyes to the point of the flaming tower in the center, which of course is to symbolize how the Graftons have a large lighthouse, very similar to that of House Hightower. But I like the color scheme better, so get your white and gray bullshit out of here. I will say, I'm not a fan of the fires being in the windows and the entrance. After all, that looks like instead of notifying ships sailing in the dark, you're just burning it all down to collect the insurance money. Number 1, House Greyjoy. Alright, I admit it. I listen to Black and Yellow every day before I go to sleep, and that is why House Greyjoy is my pick for the best sigil in Westeros. But luckily I do have some other reasons, but keep in mind, this is very, very subjective. But I really like how the black is the color they use for the sea, not blue or anything like that, but pitch black, as that is where the Kraken lays deep, deep under the water where their sunlight can't reach, only to rise harder and stronger when it takes its time to strike. And the gold Kraken is just so good on the black background. I may not have the proper IQ points to explain why I think this sigil looks better than every single other sigil in A Song of Ice and Fire, but it just does things to me, you know? You can't explain it, but you feel it. Anyways, that's my list. What are your thoughts? Think my taste in art is on par with those pretentious douchebags who tape a banana to a wall? Or do you think I have a point in my own dumb way? I would also love to hear your favorite sigils in the series, so make sure to leave them in the comments down below. If you want to ever chat with me or anyone else in the group, then click on the Discord link as well while you're typing out the comments. Until then, stay safe, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.